Hey, what's up? I'm Randy Jones. I go by JonezyArtwork. Most people call me Jonesy. I do original one-of-a-kind paintings. You'll own it, just yours. I go by the uniqueness, the originality, the urban street art that I do. I do it because I love it and people like the images I create. I started JonezyArtwork in 2004 when I graduated high school, and I took a year off and traveled the world and had art shows, mostly down the west coast of California, Long Beach, Silver City, San Diego, LA, and that's where I got most of my inspiration, like the bright colors. A lot of people like the urban feel, the street graffiti-ish, all that mix. A Yeti, it's kind of, nobody knows what a Yeti looks like, so I just create my own idea of the Yeti. Started doing gallery shows. It was all mostly California people were more into my vibe. But nowadays, Portland's changed. I'm starting to get shows more in Oregon, Portland's urban styles. When I was young, when I was little, my parents were artists. My mom did a lot of pottery, clay little figures, making pins, hippie stuff, And then my dad was really good with pen and ink sketches. My mom would always start a drawing and then hand it to me, and then I'd do a little drawing on it, and then she'd hand it back, and we would just keep going back until we made a picture. And it was cool because it was super abstract, because one eyeball was bigger than the other. Well, it didn't come out super perfect. My characters in cartoons, you'll notice that not all their eyes are perfect. I took my mom's mix with my mix, and there's a big eye, small eye, big eyebrow, big nose. It's just a mix. Pretty much, everything I create is just in my mind. But then when I paint, I'm way in the zone. Put some music on and I make it detailed. Back in the day, I was talking to artists in California, and they were like, "Hey man, I got an art show, dude, you should get involved in this." This was back in MySpace. MySpace era. They were like, "Hey dude," they sent me a message "You should be in the show with us." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that'd be cool." But nobody did ink sketches, framed or anything. So it kind of came to the fact it was I can't put this in a gallery. I gotta put my artwork on canvas so that people go to a gallery and want it on a canvas. That's kind of what I thought, which kind of how it is until people see your sketches and they kind of know who you are. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." But at first, people will go into an art gallery and they want a painting for their wall. So I was like, well, I can't do this pen and ink thing. So I started messing with paints, and I found acrylic, and it dried fast. And because my drawings, I could draw a picture in 2 minutes, and I'm like, boom, it's done, yeah. But with painting, it's you gotta paint, let it dry, do all that. Well, the paint that I found out that dried the fastest, so I could keep going with my vibe and get the project done, was acrylic. I make a painting for my brother's birthday, or I make a painting for my aunt, I give it to him. I don't write a number on them, because I don't consider that part of the addition, my collection. It's part of a collection, but it's more I have a collection that I number each one sold, so that I keep it like that, so that these ones that are just gifted aren't really part of that, but I still painted them. But today I just sold 432, so my next painting that I make, I'm gonna mark on the back 433. sold a painting to a guy in France, like in '08. It was like my favorite painting, and it was like small. It was like this. It was of a bank robbery, kind of like chubby, and he had mittens on, and then he had these little wings with a crown. It was really like detailed. It was only like this big, pretty thick. It was like nice gallery style canvas, but really detailed. I sold it to him, and we shipped it. I shipped it, but I didn't think, this was back before like I've ever shipped anything, especially international. It was funny because I was so young and never shipped before. I was thinking, oh, it's just a little painting, I'll ship it, boom, you know. And it ended up, shipping was like 40 bucks just to ship this little painting. And I was like, dang. Right now it's like, I'm doing a lot of things actually. It started out with just artwork, and then I've like evolved it into, I went back to school, and a main graphic designer at Nike, Carson Brown, taught me how to use Illustrator. And because a lot of my customers would be like, oh dude, your art's cool, I want it on my music cover, my album cover. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool, but I didn't know how to do that. So I went back to school, and Carson Brown would take like one day out of the week to come teach. And so he taught me, but everybody in the class was like there for VC, like for visual communications and stuff. So they've already like they already know everything. Like for me, it's like, dude, this is like weird. I don't even know, you know, there's like no mouse, there's, you know, they're using Macs. I didn't even own a Mac. So I was like, dude, this is like so like weird. Don't panic, it's organic. So leave, you know, because they already did their stuff. Well, I sat there because I was like, I'm there to learn it for my own knowledge. Send me a message if you need something. If you got Snapchat, hit me up on Snapchat. Jonesy Boy Fresh, JonezyBoy Fresh, no spaces. And like I've done a lot. Like I just did this one. This guy came from Vietnam. This little guy came from Vietnam. It was a little figurine that a buddy of mine bought in Vietnam. He travels a lot. And then he sent it to me to customize. Just gotta ship it back to him. But he wanted me to put something on the back of his head, so still gotta finish it. Kind of cool little guy. I did a duck's piece, or a duck. A duck was riding a Harley Davidson, and so once I posted that, everybody that is a sports fan was like, "Hey, I need this guy. I need the duck, like in a Grim Reaper, or like, you know." So I was like, "Oh crap." I guess I could be pretty vague on it. I just did one for the Blazers, and so that will be out pretty soon. I've done some artwork for some pretty cool people that I think like is crazy, because when I was little, I used to listen to them on music, or I used to like look up to them. I did an album cover logo designed for Snoop Dogg's oldest son, Calvin. Liked it. He made a album. And he put it on iTunes, and my logo's up in the top corner. It's called Hippie Era. It's cool. I mean, I don't really want to like, I'm pretty chill about it, but I don't want to like brag about it. But at the same time, it's like, it's crazy to think like, if I never moved to Vegas, would I have ever met those people? Would I ever been to those things? Would they have ever interviewed? You know what I mean? There's a collaboration I did with a guy out of Chicago. Goes by Blood. It was a cool piece. I did the worm.